got back from an amazing day at Chichen Itzá. We also went swimming in a cenote, and we had a tour guide who took us. They picked us up early this morning, and it is 6 o'clock at night now. So we pretty much had a 12-hour day, but it was so worth it. What an amazing experience. I would never do something like this on a shared tour if I could help it, because it really does make a difference having somebody, just having like your own private tour guide the whole time. We had a really nice lunch, so really a great experience, and I highly recommend. So we're back in the room. Tonight was Black Night, and we had a nice dinner at the buffet. Again, the buffet here has been really great, but I just wanted to say once again how amazing our tour was today. I have done shared tour bus situations before, and after experiencing what a private tour is like, I would rather invest the money in having that type of an experience and having one amazing day than doing maybe a couple of other things throughout the week. So if you guys watched my vlog when we went to Punta Cana and we went to Sayona Island, we did a shared bus tour, and it was really a bad experience. So I really highly recommend finding a great tour company that does private tours, and I definitely can recommend someone. I am a travel agent, if you guys don't know that, so if you ever needed my help in booking travel anywhere, I could help you with that. But you really should find somebody that can give you a private tour and a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you'll remember forever, opposed to doing the chaos sometimes of a shared bus tour. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. We have a couple of days left at ClubMed in Mexico, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Good morning, guys. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we just had breakfast at Taco Arte, which was really nice. It's nice having breakfast out by the water with a beautiful view. Seems very busy this morning. It's Saturday, so I think a lot of people are coming in and going, so there's a lot of activity. But we have a full resort day today, and I'm looking forward to relaxing. Our 2 excursion days were amazing, but now I'm kind of good for some chill time, and it looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. Also, I wanted to mention the buffets here are really well done. There is baby food, there's stuff appropriate for toddlers, for kids, there's a cereal station. There's just so much to offer for families, so definitely keep that in mind if you're traveling with young kids. They literally even have baby food for you, which is pretty wonderful. All right, we are gonna go get ready for the beach. On our walk over to Taco Arte, we saw this guy again. Every day we saw him on our walk. And one of my favorite things about eating outside in the big pavilion at Taco Arte is you can look in the water and see the most beautiful fish. Look at how crystal clear this water is, and this is where we're sitting. So it's literally right there, and we were able to really just see beautiful fish. I felt like we didn't even need to go snorkeling because we could pretty much see everything very clearly. Then we had the steakhouse again for dinner. This is the inside. Last time we stayed outside. And I had chicken, like a whole, like small chicken, and my husband had steak again. And then this time I got the cheesecake for dessert, which was really good. And we woke up early the next morning so that we could catch the sunrise. It was a little bit cloudy, so we couldn't really get a great view. And there were snails everywhere, which really fascinated me. They're all stuck on these rocks. And then I went over to check out the kids' little water park area because I wanted to be able to let clients know about it. It is newly refurbished, and just look at it. It's gorgeous. So much to do here for kids. Such a great play center too on the other side. So we were up and out early this morning, which was nice to see the sunrise, and we had a really good breakfast, and now we're getting ready for another beach day. Like I said, it's our last day here. We're leaving tomorrow morning. We had such an amazing week. I really love this resort, and I will bring you along today. It's going to be a pretty lazy day, but I'm really looking forward to it. Headed back to Taco Arte for the guac, which is so good. Had to get it every day. And then I just wanted to really get a full tour of the resort. So this is where they have the circus school. It's the sports island area. And then here is the main pool that I thought would be nice to just give you guys an overview of what that looks like next to the courtyard. And you could eat in that courtyard area and have entertainment at the pool. And they had the main bar here. There was a crepe station over by the pool as well. This is like the main hub. And then if you see that room in the corner, there was exercise classes going on all of the time right there with this beautiful view. Hey guys, so it is Monday morning and we are packing up and getting ready to go. We had a really great week here and I'm excited to give you guys a full review when I have an opportunity to kind of just sit down and go over all of the points, all of the differences, and all of the great things about ClubMed here in Cancun. We had an amazing week in Mexico. I really love it here so much. The beaches are absolutely gorgeous, clear blue aqua water. The food here has been wonderful and I really loved the excursions that we did as well. So I'm excited to get back and kind of collect all my thoughts and share with you the entire experience and some of the pros and cons about it. Okay guys, so now that I am back home from my trip to Mexico, I am excited to share with you my thoughts on our overall experience. And I was a little bit nervous heading to Mexico because when I had previously gone to Punta Cana, I picked up a stomach virus and I don't know if I accidentally got some of the water in my mouth or what the deal was. So going to Mexico, I was so nervous that I was going to end up getting sick, and I did not. I was perfectly fine. The food at ClubMed was fresh and delicious, and I never felt weird about any of the food. Sometimes things look off to me, especially when I'm eating in a buffet. I'm always very apprehensive as to what I'm going to choose. And I have to say, at ClubMed, the buffet options were actually really good. They were making food fresh all of the time. They changed up the menu pretty much every night. They had a lot of things to choose from, and I really loved that they had stuff for babies and toddlers. I thought that was great. I even saw baby formula there, baby food, just things that kids could eat. And the kids club actually had a separate dining area in the buffet where they sat with the kids and fed them. I saw them there for both lunch and dinner. So the kids program includes bringing your children for meal times, which I thought was really nice. And I did see the kids walking around the property and doing all types of activities on the property. So it seems like the kid clubs are really great and there's so many activities for adults. I almost felt like I was failing at life because I wasn't active enough. They constantly had workout classes and, aerobics, like water aerobics. And there was this one area, it was like all completely made out of glass. I showed you guys in the vlog that you just watched. And I swear, I think it was like from early in the morning till around dinner time that there were classes going on, and it was Pilates and yoga and step aerobics, I think, and just all kinds of workout classes all day long. If you want to stay active on vacation, there was no excuse to not exercise. They had a gym and it was just a lot. And then the whole circus school, there was this area called Sports Island, and they had archery and they had, the like circus school thing, but you had to climb up this really tall ladder to get to the top. And then it was like trapeze and stuff like that. And I thought I was going to do it, but once I saw that ladder, I was like, no, I'm good. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, and that was just too much for me. But I did do yoga over there. They had a really nice area where you could do yoga classes, and that's pretty much what I did. I did a couple of yoga classes. I took some really nice walks on the property. They even had time scheduled for power walks and for runs. So you could walk or run with a group of people. And in the morning in the main theater area, I think it was 9 or 9:30 in the morning, they had a thing where they would go over all the activities of the day. They did island tours several times during the week while I was there, where they would just take you around and show you the entire property, the layout of the land, where everything was. So their activity program and just all of the things going on were great. You definitely would not be bored throughout the day. So one of the things that discouraged me a little bit, and I find this a lot with all of the resorts at any Caribbean island or any place tropical where you're like in an all-inclusive kind of a situation, many of them don't have a lot going on like after their main theater show in the evening, which usually ends anywhere between 10 and 11 o'clock at night. And I found that to be the case here. It kind of settled down after that. And they did have a main bar area. They didn't have a lot of bars on property that were open like very late into the evening, but the main promenade where everyone kind of congregated in the evening. There was a bar area there, but it wasn't very active and alive. It kind of got quiet in the evening. And again, I find this to be the case at a lot of different places. So usually I find for myself, by that time of night, after having full beach days and snorkeling, doing excursions, whatever it is that you're doing, I'm usually pretty tired anyway. So it works out okay for me. But if you're looking for a late night party, then you always can just go into, downtown Cancun. There's plenty of things to do in Cancun if you leave your resort in the evening, but we were not up for that or even considering doing that. And also, this was the biggest thing for me that would maybe keep me from wanting to go there with my kids, at least, is there was a language barrier. And it was not a language barrier with the language that you would think it would be, which would be Spanish, being in Mexico. But no, everyone at ClubMed, probably I would say maybe 80 to 90% of the people that were there while I was there were French. And it was very odd to me that everyone spoke French. And even when I took the yoga classes, I would be the only American in the class or the only English speaking person. So she would say everything in French. And then once in a while, she would throw me a couple of sentences to make sure I knew what was going on. So I was definitely the minority there. And I was totally fine with that. But I just kept thinking to myself, if I were there with my younger daughter, who probably would want to do the kids clubs, I don't know that it would have been a very comfortable experience for her, because it seemed like most of the families were from France and they spoke some English. Some of the people we did notice spoke some English, but I don't think that it would have been a great experience for her if she had to struggle with the language. So that was the one thing. That was the biggest thing, really. Other than that, we really, really enjoyed ourselves. The room was underwhelming. It was pretty basic. It had everything we needed. It was clean. It was comfortable. We hardly spent time in the room anyway, but I definitely have been in more elaborate, more beautiful rooms at an all-inclusive resort. But it was fine. And I did love the view. We had an ocean view. So who's complaining? Well, I don't really care that much about the room. As long as the bed is comfortable and the shower works well and, it's clean, I'm happy. So aside from ClubMed itself, I really love Mexico. I cannot believe that more people do not travel to Mexico. I've been to so many different islands and so many different places, and Mexico is just beautiful and there's so much to see. I really want to go back and see Mexico City on another trip. But just getting to see Chichen Itzá was so much fun, and going and swimming in the cenotes and the Xcaret properties are so amazing. And we love going to Excursions. It's so hard to say that, but we had a phenomenal time there. We were laughing so hard. All of the crazy experiences that you go through when you go to that park specifically. And I know I didn't film a lot on that day because we were just very active and doing a lot of things. But the one town where it's you walk into this little mini town, I guess. It's a replica of a town. And everything's uphill, but it's actually downhill. But it looks like you're going uphill. And my husband stepped into the area and almost fell. We couldn't even walk for the first couple of minutes. We could not walk. It was like being in a fun house. And then you go into the buildings and you're literally laying on the walls, but it's just so wonky. You have to experience it to even understand what I'm talking about. And then there was one other thing there. So it's a sensory experience where you basically go through this cave in the pitch dark alone. You can't see anything. They make you turn off your watch and your phone and stuff because they don't want you using your flashlight or having any lights go off. And you go in alone, it's pitch dark, and everything changes. The climate changes. You have to take off your shoes because you're walking through swampy stuff, and then it feels like you're walking on a bridge, and you have to feel your way through. And I stepped in. The first thing I noticed was it got really hot, almost like I couldn't breathe hot, really humid. And I heard coyotes howling, and I stepped in this muddy stuff. and I took 3 steps in and I turned right around, and my husband had already gone because we had like separate like caves, kind of like, I don't even know what it was that we were going through. So I went to the lady and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. So I was waiting for him at the exit, and thank goodness I didn't do it. It took him over 20 minutes to get through, and he said it was probably one of the scariest experiences of his life. And he was so worried about me the whole time because he knew there was no way I was getting through it. He imagined that I just like was sitting in the cave crying and hyperventilating and waiting for someone to come get me, because there were times, he said, where the ceiling actually came down and I get really claustrophobic, and he didn't know like what was going to happen next. And it felt like he was going over a bridge, and it was just crazy, crazy stuff going on. So if you've ever gone there, let me know how your experience was, but I'm glad I didn't do that. But I did go ziplining, which was a big win for me because I've always been scared to go ziplining. So those are just a couple of the really fun things that we did in Mexico. And there were so many more things that I wanted to do. We were there for 7 nights and we had 2 full excursion days. And I really liked the way that we worked it out. On our arrival day, we pretty much missed the whole day, because we had a late flight, but we had 2 days of resort time. Then we had 2 days in a row where we were literally up and out at like 6 o'clock in the morning and then back in time for dinner. And then we had 2 more resort days before we had to leave. So not like really counting travel days as much. And it was just the perfect blend, because it was like we got there, we relaxed for a couple of days, got to spend time at the resort, have some good meals, have some beach time. And then we had 2 days that we were like active, busy, doing and seeing things. And then we had 2 more days of just complete relaxation. There were so many things to do on property, like snorkeling and water sports. We took out a kayak, they had sailing. There were just, and it's all included. There were so many things to do. We loved it. Really, really great. I'm excited to try out more of the ClubMed properties. They're all over the world. So I do think it's a great brand and they really do a good job at what they do. So if you have any questions, if you want information on other resorts in Mexico, because there are plenty of great resorts in Mexico, or if you would like more information on ClubMed itself, I'd be happy to help. I know I mentioned this before, but I am a travel advisor. This is what I do for a living. So I love having opportunities to see and explore different places around the world, because it just gives me firsthand experience that I can share with my clients, and I can give an honest opinion. And plus, then I know where not to send people to, because it doesn't always work out to my favor when I go check out a resort. And there are times that I go to resorts and I cannot wait to leave. So I don't want to ever send people to those types of places. And I see some of these places have 4 or 5 star reviews on sites out there. And I wonder who's getting paid to make these reviews, because it's just not, it's not an honest review. And I know this because I was there. So yeah, it definitely only benefits you to work with a travel agent. I don't know if you guys know this, but with most travel agencies, the commissionable amount is already built into the pricing. So let's just say ClubMed, for instance, either they get the commission or their travel advisors get it. Same goes for Disney, Universal, cruises, all of those things. There are travel agencies that will charge a fee, but we don't. So it's literally a fee you're paying for and you're probably not using, just, to let you know, because I think a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think there's like a hidden fee or there's something shady going on, but that's legit the way it is. I book a Disney trip. If you book Disney online on the Disney site, you're going to pay the same amount as if you booked with me. I'm a free service, so it's definitely a win-win, because travel agents work hard to keep their clients happy and share as much information as they can, which I try to do, and just to have somebody to have your back, if nothing else. You got to make a phone call for a complaint or something. You don't have time for that. That's my job. So I make phone calls all day for people. Anyway, I hope that you found this video helpful, informative, entertaining. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I hope that you're all doing well. I've been a little bit stepping away from YouTube, not intentionally, just because I've been really busy with work stuff, but I do miss it and I do still try to share as much as I can. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.